All right, que lo que, Knicks fans, what's going on? This is Knicks Wild, episode 77, man. We getting up there in numbers, man. Well, it's your boy Don Juan, back from the All-Star break, and thank God it's over. It was a drag, like big time, man. Like with no basketball. I mean, it was honestly, it was it's pretty boring. I mean, I was caught up with a lot of shows. I was on Netflix chilling with my girl, watching movies, but realistically, man, I needed some basketball in my life, and thank God it was over. It was definitely a much needed break for our guys, though. I'm not gonna lie, can't lie. Like we needed it, especially how we ended up that last week or two before the All Star break. It seemed like our team was breaking down. One guy just kept getting hurt every game, so glad that our guys were able to get that rest. But I'm just a spoiled Knicks fans. I want to see my team play, man. I want to see my team play, and we're back after the Sixers game today, and I got to see my team play, man, and it was definitely a fun watch. But nonetheless, I'm here with my guy Zeba. What's going on, and how you feeling after that All Star break?
Goody, bro. Nah, yeah, man. Bro. I'm glad to be back, bro. I ain't gonna lie. With no football, no basketball, nothing the last few days, bro. Literally, JJ Redick and Doc Rivers was the only thing keeping me entertained the last few days. Like
For real.
it's been just been dry, man. So it's glad, I'm glad to, get back to it. Second half. Obviously, this is a key. It's a key time for us. We definitely gonna talk about it, but we got a few of our main guys out, and so it is a little concerning. But I'm good. I'm just glad to be back to chop it up with you, bro. Obviously Triple M coming back soon, so let's get it, man. Just ready to get back to it.
Yeah, man. Definitely looking forward to get Triple M here. I know daddy duty's still keeping him
Yeah,
busy, and it's understandable. And at the same time,
of course.
these days, you don't get them back. They talking about a newborn, especially baby
Yeah,
girl. Daddy, he's
yeah.
a as a girl dad right there, man.
The girl dad. Shout
You
out to
tied
my
to the
boy.
hip when it comes to a girl, man. Obviously, his
Yeah,
boy, especially being number one, I know is definitely a emotional attachment there. But when you get your girl, man, it's like you want to protect
it's
every little
different.
thing from life, man. So
Yeah, nah, it's
take
different.
your time, Triple A. Whenever you're ready, you're ready. But we
Yes,
miss
sir.
you, bro. We miss you, man. Definitely miss your takes and shutting us down whenever we too high, man. We need you out here, man.
Fact.
But back to the pod, man. Many fans made a big fuss about the All Star weekend. I'm not gonna lie, I was one of them, but I didn't go too crazy. I might have been expecting a bit of a not I wouldn't say disappointing outcome, but I wasn't like expecting like something that's gonna blow me out of my mind. Like, oh my god, this is gonna be a great All-Star weekend. I thought it was gonna be okay, man. I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was gonna be okay. But and I was happy that we had some guys participating in it. But the people made a fuss just because there's no solution. I mean, not that there's no solution. People are like, oh, this is so boring, whatnot. But
Yeah,
it's just at this point, I don't feel like there's a way to bring us back to what we're used to, at least when we were growing up, watching these Hall of Fame type players going all out, the Kobe's, the T Mac, the Chris Paul's, I mean, bro, I was gonna say T Mac again, but even Jordan was doing this thing when he was much older.
Kobe. Yeah, nah,
And
Kobe,
I
bro.
feel like now, like, guys aren't really taking it serious. And even going into the All-Star game, when you hear or even the weekend where Edwards is talking about I'm gonna shoot it with my left hand in this
That was
competition,
crazy.
and
I
that
ain't gonna lie, that was crazy.
he's not really gonna take it serious. And it's just like, damn, bro, like this is what we're gonna go into. So because of that, I already was expecting some type like people just downplaying it, just being a more of a up and down. And then the fact that it was a blowout, it was like, okay, this is not gonna get interesting at all.
Right.
And like I said, I don't feel like it's ever gonna get back to that. I mean, I've heard people talk about king of the court or money incentives for the players, but I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like those are good ideas. It might be worth a try, but I don't think it would ever get us back to what we were used to or
Yeah.
what we would want to see one day.
Yeah,
Any
and I think also,
suggestions on your end? Like, what you think?
yeah, bro. I mean, like you said, bro, it was low key dry. I think My only time that I actually had some type of excitement was when Jalen Brunson was shooting when Jalen Brunson went up for the 3-point contest. That was literally my
That was
only.
fun. I'm not
That
gonna
was
lie.
literally my only, moment, and because he was close. Like honestly, he literally missed the second round by one shot. So it's
I
just,
mean, he kind of choked. I'm not gonna lie.
nah, he choked. He definitely choked.
He
He with
like
that,
he definitely had a pretty good start.
he had a
Like
great start,
he
and
like that last racket was the one that pretty much ate him
damn,
up.
I was like, come on, bro, you have to be better. And he had time too. So, but like I said, overall, that was literally my moment of like, oh wow, like I'm actually engaged. The rest of the time, bro, the skills competition was just. I mean,
Yeah,
even
that's
even when Bayama looked at Anthony Edwards, like, yo, bro, you serious? Like,
yeah.
you really shooting this
Yo,
good
I would
left
have been
hand?
tight
Like,
too.
I'm like,
Like, yo, we
come
trying
on,
to
bro.
win
I'm really
this.
trying to win. This is my first time here, and so just seeing that, and then also too, I mean, the dunk contest. I will be honest with you, bro. Did Jacob Toppin have the best dunk though out of everybody there?
I
Like,
think so. I
he
think so.
had
He was
he
robbed of a moment. He was
yeah.
robbed of a moment. Low, not even low key, high key. He was robbed of a
Yeah, nah,
moment.
he was because that I ain't gonna lie. I think I may have seen that before, but that was the best dunk out of everybody there.
I
And
mean,
so
the dunk that he came out with brought me back to those dunkers, those real dunkers from
yeah,
back in the
like that's
days. You
yeah,
know,
nah,
Jason Richardson, Vince Carter. You know, under the
like
leg,
Zach. That was a Zach Levine
360.
type
Like
of
it was
yeah.
tough dunks. Like
Mm-hmm.
and tough dunks that
No
we
props or
don't really
nothing.
see them unless you get like your Zach Levines or Aaron Gordon type
Yeah,
dunkers.
nah, yeah, bro, no props or nothing. So he literally had the best dunk, but then after that, it was just man,
No,
it
and
was
then you got
horrible.
Jalen Brown. Jalen Brown was
Bro, he didn't even
terrible. I
look,
mean, I don't
bro.
even know how
He
he got
looked at the
higher
he Bro,
than
he looked
Jacob.
at the rim while he tried to do this, and then, bro, he did it like literally at the end of the dunk. I'm like, come on, bro.
Yeah,
It's
now
just,
it seemed like it was fixed. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like that was fixed, and maybe because you know, Jacob Toppin and McClung, dunk contest championship for now. It's not what the NBA
yeah,
wanted. But
it's
I mean,
not,
at
bro.
that point, bro, just get the best dunkers. Why are you worried about names? I mean,
That's
Jalen
it,
Brown
bro.
was just a
Or
terrible
just pay.
contestant in the first place.
Yeah, man. And at the end of the day, I mean, to me, if you ask me like what I would do to fix it. I mean, honestly, bro, money. I think they're already getting incentivized, but man, you're just gonna have to put more in the pot, man. Like
You think so?
you're gonna have to offer these guys like,
Okay.
yo, for the winner, $5 million each for the team. Like, y'all gonna have to
Jeez.
go. Like, the NBA is gonna have to do that, and they're definitely not doing that. So at this point, I just don't see any type of I don't see it improving anytime soon because I think Paul Pierce brought it up too, bro. It's like the OGs of that time, the Kobe's, the Jordans, like the Iversons, those dudes took it actually seriously, and it just seems now that I mean, again, you think about the OGs of the game, it's LeBron and KD, and and even them when even when they was going, even at their times, even at their primes, they wasn't taking it that seriously, and so if they don't see LeBron and KD taking it seriously, why should everybody else? So,
Yeah,
I
I
just don't
agree.
see any type of I don't see any type of improvement to it. So,
I
it is
agree.
what it
I
is.
agree. Those are the people that are gonna lead by example, and if they're not leading
Yeah,
by
and if they
example,
not, and if they just chilling if they just chilling, taking it like, oh nah, it's just a rest weekend. Everybody else gonna be doing the same, man. I mean, low key, I don't blame them because, like we about to talk about, it's a big second half right now this season.
and that's probably what it is too. Everybody's
Yeah,
all those guys that are in this game or involved throughout the weekend are in the thick of things, and they are playing for seeding or playing for the second half of the season. They don't want to get hurt, so all that is understandable. But so were those greats back in the days. They at the
but
end of the day they thought about the fans, and it seems like the fans element has been lost. Like these players don't want to play for the fans, which is why you see guys constantly sitting out games for rest and whatnot. Like all these things have been playing a part, but we both agree it's gonna be tough to really bring the All Star game back and revive it, man. And but nonetheless, shout out to our guys though, Brunson and Jacob for showing out. They put the Knicks on that. They put the Knicks name on that stage and showed out. Obviously, we didn't have any winners, but I mean, they still did their thing, man. They represented as well, man. So glad that we had some representation for our team out there. But let's talk some Knicks as we begin the second half of this season, man, because we got um got a lot of talk about, especially the fact that we out here trying to make the playoffs, man, and things are getting rough. We still dealing with injuries, and we we got some we got some competition coming up, man. It's gonna be a tight race, especially out in the East, man. But let's get into this game tonight, man. The Knicks beat the Sixers 110-96. It was, one of those games where we had a crazy lead. We had a crazy lead to start, but of course, in Nick fashion, Knicks gave up the lead, slipped up, got Maxi. Maxi went off, started getting hot. But it seemed like Maxi, the gas kind of like ran out. They put
Yeah,
McBride on him. He locked him up for in that fourth quarter, and then we started hitting some shots, of course, and then got the separation. But don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna lie, man. I think the Sixers cut the lead. It was like we led at most 23 points, and then they cut the lead to 6 points. So it definitely had me worried for a bit.
yeah,
But we
right.
definitely saw a lot of things going on tonight from Tibbs. Playing
My
around
boy
with different
Boyan,
lineups. I saw, bro. I saw so many different lineups tonight that I was wondering if Tibbs was actually coaching out there. I'm not gonna lie.
right?
But it was a weird game because Jalen Brunson had 21 points, 12 assists, but he
Not
had seven turnovers
yeah,
and
that
5 for 18 from the field. It was definitely a rough night for him, but he still was hustling out there, make some big plays down the stretch of the game, and he didn't give up, and it seemed like you could tell he was hard on himself because he kept, he was talking to himself after every miss, like, damn man, I missed. But it was still impressive win, being that we have so many guys out. Even Hardestein, I think, only played 11 minutes, and that before the game he was already on a minutes restriction. So we going into the game, we didn't expect too much minutes from him, but 11 minutes, it just means that he's still not over that Achilles injury that he was dealing with
yeah.
towards that first half, to end the first half of the season. Zabo, anything you saw tonight that you like?
Yeah, man. I mean, the biggest thing. I mean, we gotta give a shout out to Precious, man. Precious did his thing out there, man. He was definitely a menace. I mean, one thing that we spoke about at the start of the season is who's gonna be that guy to off the bench that's gonna step up for Randall whenever he's off the floor. And I think we definitely found the guy, man. He just took advantage of every matchup he had. He was hustling, man, getting every single rebound. I think he finished with a double double.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 11 rebounds. So he just, he was just a menace out there. And then, yeah, man, this small ball. I mean, Tibbs was coaching. He was coaching because that small ball lineup was definitely getting to Philly, man. Just seeing, Deuce McBride doing his thing out there, and obviously Jalen Brunson with that key steal. I mean, you could tell that, and especially when you got a guy like Kyle Lowry, like, come on now, you're not gonna be scared of Kyle Lowry. But just seeing the different type, seeing how Tibbs was managing the lineups. It was good to see, man, and it was good to him just it was good for him to just stick with the guys that even though again they did go ahead and cut into that lead a little bit, he still stood with his guys. So shout out to Tibbs for actually going ahead and just trusting the guys he had on the floor. And yeah, man, one of the newcomers, man, went and stepped up for us. My boy Boyan. He just started off hot, man. And this is what this is why we brought him into this team for this exact reason. I mean, at the end of the day, we would have lost if we didn't have him. And so this is what he does. He spaces the floor, gets his good shots, makes essentially makes life easier for everyone on the floor. And so, um, it's just a good start for him. Burks, even Burks too. When he was on the floor, he definitely, the minutes, even though it was limited, you could definitely felt his presence there on the floor. So definitely a big contribution from our two, from the two guys coming into the team. And yeah, man, Jalen Brunson, like you spoke about, definitely had a bad shooting night, but he just he's to that point where if he notices he has a bad shooting night, he understands that, okay, let me go ahead and get my team involved in,
Yeah.
because those are the guys that are going to carry us ultimately.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, and that was evident tonight. He finished with 12 assists, which is pretty huge. A guy I think is averaging closer to 6 assists per game. So the fact that he doubled
yeah, man,
that
you talked me
tonight,
out of that 4.5, bro.
yeah, that was
You
my
talked
fault.
me
I'm
out of
not
the
gonna
four and a
lie. I
half
said,
assists, bro.
yo,
I'm like
First,
4.5 is just too low. Come on, I know he's gonna get 4. He
he
has to
was
at least
dishing,
get
man.
4.
He was dishing. He was dishing tonight, and that was my fault, man. That was my fault. But regardless of that,
I get it though. He's been
even
dropping
though
30,
you
so
don't
it's
want to
like
get too much into it, you would have lost the ticket for other reasons. So,
nah, yeah.
now, but you mentioned Bogey and Burks. I felt like it was just a matter of time for those guys to just figure it out and get acclimated to the squad. And this is, I mean, it's not a bit of a rant, but kind of a rant because I was a little bit pissed off when the Knicks made the trade and the overreaction from the fans after a couple games. I mean, especially those that were expecting the Knicks to make a big splash. They were real critical of Bogey and Burks those first few games. Like I think it was only like 2 or 3 games that they were able to play prior to the All-Star break. But look, and I get it. It was their time to shine. Those people that had that narrative and that angle towards it, like, yeah, trying to prove a point to the masses that this was the wrong move, that we didn't have, that we had to swing for the fences, we had to add a star and whatnot. Especially, and then the thing is that it's not like Kevin Durant or I mean, LeBron James actually was kind of available. I don't know. There was rumors
Yeah.
about him, but let's not get into that too much. But
Yeah.
there was no real star available that it was worth swinging for the fences. Yeah,
Right.
the John T. Murray. Is he really a star though? Come on now.
Yeah, no,
I was
I
really
wasn't
pissed
sold
off
on
with the
that. I
reaction.
wasn't sold on it.
At the end of the day, when you make a trade, especially on a team with guys that already have established roles, you need time to get acclimated
Yeah,
with
because
the
we just
guys.
we just threw him into the fire like that. Literally, I
Literally,
think that they played the next day after we got him. So it's just, and this is a completely different. It's different from you. It's different from you going from Detroit to New York. So I mean,
literally.
the fact that there was that type of criticism already is just, honestly, bro, it's regular Knicks fan shit. Like that's what it is. It's
It is. It
regular.
is. Overreact to overreact. That's what
Exactly.
it is. Especially, and
Exactly.
look, and I get it. There's a lot of injuries going on. A lot of frustration has built up, and this is how they wanted to let out their frustration. Talking shit on 2 guys that we just got, and they just got to the team. Like, man, giving them a warm welcome at least, man. But regardless, I know it was against a depleted Sixers team, but it was nice to see, Bogey go off tonight and just pretty much, and even Alec Burks, like Zebo mentioned, Alec Burks, who's a guy who's known to be forcing shots up and taking matters in his own hands at times, but he's been real conservative, I would say, picking his shots in the right places. He hasn't been forcing too much. When his number's called, he's there and he's willing to do whatever he can. But and Bogey, like we mentioned, he had 22 points, 6 for 6 from the 3-point line. This is exactly why we wanted to get this guy on the team, and we got specifically 2 guys because we needed some depth on this team,
Right.
and especially knowing that we're gonna have these guys out for a few a few
Months.
weeks, months.
Months.
It's still to be determined.
Damn, bro.
Still
It
to
took a
be
while for it to come
determined.
out your mouth. Like, damn, bro.
I couldn't
Like,
even,
damn.
weeks, months is tricky. It's a tricky situation,
Yo, it's
but
fluid. It's fluid. Like my boy
but
Stephen A said, it's fluid.
but we got the reinforcements that we need, and I believe, especially as of late, it's the next man up mentality. We seen
Right.
DiVincenzo ball out. He's pretty much put himself in conversation for most improved player of the year, even though it might be hard to catch up. But man, he's killing it. Then you
Right.
got Precious Achua as well, who's technically people would say he's a throw-in in the trade for the OG trade, but he's proven that he's not, and he's
I
playing
called it.
some pretty good minutes on the team. Now
Mhm.
you did. I was pretty down on him. I'm not gonna lie, the first few games. Even although he was limited at the same time, it was one of those things like the even on this Bogey and Burks trade, it was one of those things that he had to get acclimated with the squad. He had to find his role, had to
Exactly.
find his fit and opportunity. The
Exactly.
opportunity is there, especially after Julius Randle was gone. There's a big chunk of minutes that is available for someone to play, and he's taken taking that opportunity and ran with it, which is great to see because we need that. We need somebody to
Mhm.
step up right now, especially even Hardenstein being a little shaky. We need somebody to really step up, and he
Jericho
stepped up
Sims
big time.
with the big putback today.
Jericho, now that putback was insane.
That
He also knocked out Kyle Lowry, gave him a people's elbow, took him out for a few minutes. So shout out to Sims with his contributions any way you could get it, man. But and the perfect person too. We're not really fans of Kyle Lowry on this side, but let's
yeah,
move on, man. We have some injury updates because, of course, we can't run away from that. The injury bug has caught up
bro. I
has
heard it
caught
in
up
your
to
voice.
us.
I heard it in your voice when you was about to say you wanted to say weeks, but it's looking like months right now.
Nah, bro. I mean, man, let's just
For
hope.
some of
Let's
them,
just
for
hope it's
some of them.
weeks. Let's just hope it's weeks, man. Let's just
Yeah,
go with
yeah,
that, man.
yeah. Nah. Yeah. Break it down for each one because I feel like it's some of them. For some of them, it's looking like a few weeks, but again, I think for guys like Mitch, it's looking like it's gonna be a minute.
For Mitch, yeah.
It's looking like it's gonna be a minute, bro. I think it's gonna be. It's looking like I know he's right now. I don't think he's even. I know he's shoot. I know he was shooting last
He's
time I
shooting
checked.
around. Yeah, he's shooting
He's
around.
shooting around, but I don't think he's still getting that. I don't think he's running still. So
Yeah.
it's
Now
still.
that's the news right now. So let's just get us up to date. Mitchell
Yeah.
Robinson is off his walking boot, but like you said, he's just doing some shooting. So it sounds like he's ramping up activity, but he's just not there yet. So that's to be determined. OG Ananobi says he's feeling better after the surgery, just following doctor's orders. But even still, that is up in the air. A lot of up in the air stuff here, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. And
Yeah.
then we got Julius Randle, who's making good and steady progress. But according to him, surgery is still an option. Man, these guys are just playing with our heads.
Yo,
I
come
can't
on,
even
bro.
get a grip of what the hell is
Surgery
going
is still an
on.
option. Like, come on.
I don't know if they're just playing with us at this point or they're telling us and they're telling us what it is and we don't want to believe it. Like, I don't know.
I don't know what it is,
I'm a little bit dumbfounded right now, but as just being used to this Knicks front office
bro.
management,
This
whoever is
not.
responsible of
Yeah.
letting out the news,
I was
these
gonna say
guys
the
are real
medical
close
staff,
knit
but
and they're
yeah,
not transparent at all. And we know that. And we know that. And we
like
like
come
this
on,
is it's
bro. Like
it's
make
really serious and I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to get worried. And I was very worried
oh,
before. I
I'm
was
there.
already worried before.
So like scale of 1 to 10, where you at right now?
Well, it's all right. So if you asked me yesterday, I probably would have been more like all right, maybe not yesterday. I was worried whenever the injuries happened, and then just doing my research because I became a doctor instantly once Randall got hurt. Once OG Ananobi elbow thing, I became a doctor, and I'm like, okay, what's the
Yeah,
prognosis? Let me see what
the
what
time frame.
what
Yeah,
the time frame is after I performed the surgery and whatnot. I was really on my doctor shit. What is it, MD, WebMD? I was on my WebMD type, but I was worried but expectations, have to settle for a bit. Not gonna lie, the expectations have to like really settle in. And maybe today I felt even a little bit, even more better based on the performance. But just off in general, how I felt after hearing that news, I think, well, not even the news. Initially, when the injuries happened, I already had like, okay, that's it. Second, third seed out the window. I'm not. That's not an expectation anymore. Granted, bro, you look back a few weeks ago, we were talking about second seed. That's a lock. Third seed, that's a lock. If
so we
anything,
shit. I could have. I honestly, I thought the way Boston was sliding a little bit, I was like, man,
yeah, I mean,
that
first
that
seed
one
too.
C look
Yeah,
kind of
right.
that one C look all
But
right.
once the injuries became clear and the timeline, especially after the deadline where this surgery for OG Randall,
Possible, sir.
up in the air, possible surgery. It was so much was up in the air that you know I had to lower my expectations. So look, because of that, I just I wouldn't put my meter so high. I'll say I'm like at 4 or 5, Four,
Yeah,
five. I mean, I would say six, but 4, 5 because I talked myself out of it. And listen here, this is my take on it. And the only reason why is because as much as we were playing for seeding before, that's it. I'm not playing for seeding anymore. Right now, I'm playing for survival, and and survival means for me is avoiding the Celtics at all costs. Avoiding the Celtics at all costs. I don't mind not having home court in the playoffs. So I'm willing to do, fourth or fifth seed is an ideal what I want, and I get it. I said I'm not playing for seeding, but seeding when I mean seeding is like those top tier seeds and 1, 2, 3, and maybe even four. I'm willing to, like I said, I'm willing to even do five because I don't want to see the Celtics in the first or second round. To the point that I might even be okay with even the seventh seed. Like that's how I'm playing it right now, bro. I want to avoid the Celtics at all costs. It's a tight race in the East, and unfortunately, we don't have the cushion of games to feel confident right now. I'm not gonna lie. So that's how I'm feeling right now. I was a little worried, but I think we have enough to survive and stay in the thick of things. But I'm already taking myself out of the contention of being a top three seed and fringe fourth seed and the safe at fifth seed and floor and a floor of 7 seed.
listen,
And
bro.
yo, and look, and I know you're the positive, optimistic person on the show, and at times I am too. I kind of play a little bit on the fence of both sides, but usually you're the more positive and optimistic guy. Can you please just find a way to get me right or to believe a little bit? Because you not too long ago you had the plan for the finals. You had the road to the finals drawn up, and I believed it, and I made sense of it too. So please, can you like guide me or steer me in a
Um,
way that I feel better after this?
the one thing I will say, bro, is this is definitely. I mean, it's rough. It's looking a little rough, but
Damn.
this game should definitely be encouraging though. Like the game that we
Okay.
just saw right now should definitely be encouraging. I know we just coming back from four straight losses, but like we spoke about, it seems like it like we said it takes time for new players to adjust. But we have two really high level. Right? We have two starters that are right now on the bench, and so I think the more Alex Bergson, I think the more Boyan plays, I think it will start it's going to start clicking for them, and we're going to start seeing consistency from them. So that is one positive. And also too, bro, I mean, I'm pretty confident in the guys we do have now. Like, I mean, I told you, I've been a Precious Achua fan from the first day we got him. I told you this is going to be an impact guy. So and he came from teams that he came from Miami and he came from Toronto, teams that, I mean, I know Toronto's looking bad this year, but it's usually teams that are pretty disciplined,
Hmm.
that know how to play the game of basketball. And so
That's a
I don't
good
have to
point.
worry
Great
about I
point.
don't have to worry about that about him. And Deuce McBride has been he's been growing he's been growing, bro. Like the more minutes we gave him, the more minutes we do give him, it seems like it's starting to be more consistent. Obviously, we obviously know what he's going to bring on the defensive end. Offensively, obviously, we know that he is limited, but he knows how to find his spot. So I know at times it will tend to look a little shaky, but overall, I mean, we can't be mad at our guys. And so I think, and like you spoke about before, bro, I think if we start seeing a little bit more growth, um, by how the way Tibbs actually manages this team, I think we'll be okay. I mean, obviously, we do have to. I know the perception of Tibbs, and it's an accurate perception of the fact that he runs all his players to the ground, and that is something he's going to have to be very, very aware of, especially Jalen Brunson. But I
Big
trust
time.
Tibbs enough I think he's gonna manage the minutes well, and so those are my positives, bro. I think I'm just more excited in the guys that we do have right now, because I think they'll be able to keep this afloat, until we have all of our guys back. And it also too, it's a good thing for them because these are, again, what was one of our Achilles heels. Like as soon as we got to the playoffs, especially against Miami, our bench just didn't, they just didn't bring it for us. And so I think these are guys that are going to contribute to really big minutes, especially if the way you saying, bro, honestly, bro, the way you talking, it seems like we might be in the play in. And if that's the case, then those are guys that we're gonna definitely need for 10, 10 to 15 minutes to to definitely take it to the second team of whatever opposite team we play in. So I think it just gives guys really good minutes to really establish like what's their strength, what's their weaknesses, and again, come playoff time, I think they'll be fine. They'll be ready to go. So um, yeah, bro. I think my positiveness just comes more for the guys that we have right now. I do trust them, but I mean it's hard, bro. I mean, like you said, bro. I am usually the positive one, but I'm usually positive because Julius Randle's playing right now. With Julius Randle not
Mm,
playing, I'm like, I'm looking, I'm just
mm.
looking a little left and right, bro. And us talking about the injuries and talking about survival. Let me just break down the next few games for us real quick. So we got Boston coming up. We got Boston, Detroit. That's a W. We got we got New Orleans, who we did already lose. We did lose to at their house. We got Golden State, Steph Curry in the Garden. That's always dangerous. We got
Yep.
the Cavs, who again, even though right now they're on top, I feel like we're still better than them at this point. But again, that's a team that's again we're gonna be fighting for them for playoff seed. We got Atlanta, a team that still has playoffs aspirations. We got Orlando right there in the neck of things. Philly right there with us. We
Philly
actually got a
again.
Philly back to back. So again, they're right there next to us. And then yeah, bro, we started West Coast trip. So I mean, bro, you talk about survival right now. We got to keep this afloat because the teams that we are playing right now, bro, the except for Detroit, bro, the similarity is that everyone is within some type of playoff
Yeah.
race, either in the Eastern Conference or Western Conference. So, yeah, bro, this is we definitely got to keep shit
So
afloat
what
right.
was your meter at right now? Because after all you said, even though there was a positive spin to it, I'm at like a 6 now.
I
I
ain't
was
gonna
at a
lie,
5.
bro.
Now I'm at a 6 leaning 7, bro.
I brought a positive outlook, but I'm still at an 8, bro. I'll be
At
honest
an
with you.
8,
Bro,
jeez.
but Julius is my guy, and like you said, bro, 2 weeks ago, I brought out a roadmap for how we gonna get to the finals, like that, like
And I
with
saw
all
it
these guys,
through. It was a
literally,
possibility, I
and it
believe. I
was a
mean,
great possibility at that point. And the one thing we did emphasize, and I think we should emphasize a little more, that's if these guys were healthy. Now, a few weeks ago, I didn't know it was gonna be this bad. I mean, with more news coming out of Julius Randle possible surgery out for the season,
yeah,
then I'm like, all right, now the season is over to me. I'll be completely honest with you, bro. Like that's how much I feel like Julius Randle is. I know Jalen Brunson is the guy on this team, but this team doesn't go far without Julius actually
that's a
on the
fact.
line and the
That's a
lineup.
fact.
So, that's why I'm like at an 8.5 right now, because without Julius, bro, we're not getting out of the first round.
Yeah,
Regardless of whatever seed we're in right now, we just not getting out. Like, as much as I do like Precious Achua, he's just not, like, imagine him going against Bam for a 4-game series.
nah,
Imagine him going against Porzingis, like,
ain't no
on a 4-game
way.
series, like playing 40 minutes. I don't like those odds. Now, if you're telling me we got Randall, it's a different story. But against guys like Giannis, Tatum, Porzingis, Bam, like those type of forward centers, nah, yeah, it's not looking too
Yeah,
good for us. So yeah, bro, I'm nervous, bro, and I'm nervous because of this schedule. Like, this is a very hard schedule coming up. Like, they definitely didn't do us any favors with how they broke down everything. But I don't know, bro. How you feel about the schedule coming up? How you think we gonna keep shit afloat? Like, did this game give you a little confidence in the guys we got? Like,
well, this game definitely gave me some confidence. But heading into the game, I felt like we were gonna win anyways. This is a depleted Sixers team.
Embiid.
When the fact that they have no Embiid, they're so beatable because they
They
don't
run
have any
Giannis.
big man threat back there. I'm not really afraid of them, even with Embiid. But there's more of concern or like something to worry about when you face a team with a guy like Embiid because he's a great player. I mean, he's gonna
Right.
be bound to be Hall of Fame. If he would have continued playing without getting hurt, he probably would have been in the MVP conversation. The guy was balling out this year and had the Sixers as one of the best teams in the league. But even with Embiid, we fared well against them, so I didn't fear them even going into this match. The way I saw it was going to be more of like a running game, running gun type game, where similar to like the Pacers. But we played pretty, we played pretty good defense. We held them at bay. I mean, they only scored 96 points tonight, so we did a pretty good job. Besides that third quarter, where they just it was an explosion. Knicks in Nick fashion. Even though we haven't seen too much of it, but it's like the third quarter of death that we always bring up for the Knicks. The Sixers went crazy, but going into the game, I was real confident that we were going to win this game. So it am I gonna take this game and say, oh yeah, we're gonna make a crazy run in these next few games? No, but it definitely gave me a little bit more confidence of, like, let's say, I think we could match up better with the Magic this time around. I felt like last time we played the Magic, we looked good. We had some moments,
We had no
but
Brunson. I was at the game. We had no Brunson. Oh, when we played them at when we
no,
played
when
them
we
at home.
played them in the Magic, when we played them in
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Orlando,
Now that was a
when
yeah,
we
yeah,
played
yeah.
them in
We
Orlando, I
had them.
felt
Yeah,
like
we
we
matched them well.
looked better, but we
Yeah,
still we were still like missing something. And again, continuity is important. Having our guys play together. We just made the trade, and we were missing guys too. If I'm not mistaken, I think Hardenstein didn't play. Who else didn't play? I don't. Maybe even DiVincenzo didn't play. Like, we had a bunch of
yeah,
guys not play that game.
yeah.
It
We
was a
haven't had a
weird.
full
It was a
roster.
pretty weird game. That was on Valentine's Day, actually. I remember
Yeah,
that game.
and it's hard to, and I think that that's another, just talking about the fact that we don't have that, the fact that we do have guys even out right now. I mean, it's hard to measure this team. I mean, I know, I keep saying, like, yeah, let's just trust the guys we have now, but it's hard because we can't, we're measuring the teams we're about to face with basically with like kind of like our second team, like
No,
except for
and that's the thing, but that's unfortunately that's the the game that's been thrown to us. The cards that have been thrown to us, and we have to play those games. And because of that, there's gonna be teams that are gonna look past us and be like, oh, we're gonna play the B team, or we're gonna play these scrubs, whatever the case may be. But this team is a team that, at times we do overlook opponents, but now we're on that underdog type of situation where teams are gonna overlook us, and we might punch a couple people in the mouth and catch you by surprise. Hopefully, that's this Saturday against the Celtics. We got a pretty big game at home against the Celtics on that nationally televised, so definitely looking forward to that game. But if with those games you mentioned, I would say in these next 9 games, we're gonna stay afloat and we'll go 4-5. That's my assessment at it. I think we managed to not disappoint. We got 2 games against the Sixers, and like I said, I don't fear the Sixers. They don't have Embiid. Embiid is another one whose return is up in the air. That injury is pretty serious with him, especially for a big man. When it comes to leg injuries, knees, ankles, all that stuff, foot is always pretty hard to recover or play on, especially for an extended amount of time. So, and I do think they're just gonna hold them out until the playoffs, where at the end of the day, whoever they face in the first round, they could end up panning out, uh being successful by depending on who they match up with. So I could see them just holding out, and maybe, let's say, that's a team that might look good as a 7th seed and facing the Cavs in the second round. I mean, in the first round, because of the fact that they got Embiid. But we'll see. Let's stick with the Knicks here, and not just talk about NBA, because I would have been out here
yeah,
playing seeding and seeing who works out for everybody. But now, realistically, I say 4-5. There's definitely games out there that we could win, especially the Hawks. Third time around with the Magic. The Magic, like I said, first time we lost and we let that game slip away. We should have won that game. Second time around, I mean, we didn't have anybody out there. Like you said, you was at the game, and it was a pretty bad game. Yeah, just
yeah. Nah, it
to
was
say the least.
basically Randall, and Deuce had his he had his moments, but once the fourth quarter came, and Jalen Suggs is a good defender. Like he's
Yeah.
definitely, yeah, he's definitely a good defender. So
And
you
then
got
third
somebody.
time, and then third time around, like I said, we did well, but when you got a team that's so depleted. I mean, we started off really good, but the team was so depleted. Like I mentioned, Dante was out, Hardestein was out. I think it might have been the first game that you know Burks and Bogdanovich had played, or maybe the second game back. So after the trade. So it was just too much to expect our guys to like, be in sync in that situation. I mean, we had Jericho Sims starting at center that night. How much did you expect from that guy, to perform? He was, and on top of that, he couldn't knock nobody out because we didn't have no backup center either. So, you know, we were limited. We were limited to say the least. But I do
Yeah,
think another time against the Magic, I'm pretty sure the Tibbs is gonna draw something up and figure them out. So that's another dub. And so what I say Sixers twice. I say the Magic win, and then we got the Pistons.
Detroit.
The Pistons that's like charity work. But let me not overlook them because next thing you know, man, they've been playing definitely been playing better basketball. So can't overlook them. You can't overlook anybody in the NBA on a nightly basis. This NBA. Everybody's a professional. People show up. People get hot on any given day. Which I'm not gonna lie, I say 4 and 5. But because of that, there's teams that sleep on you. There's teams that overlook teams, and we might go 6and 3. But I'm gonna go 4 and 5 and stick with that, man. What
Yeah,
you have any predictions or
I mean,
what you think? What you think?
I think we definitely got the Detroit game. I can see us taking either. I can see us taking the Detroit game. That's one. Atlanta. That's two. Orlando three. I see us splitting with Philly. That's four. And I think we'll take has to be either one of the Cavs or Golden. Cavs will probably. I mean, I know they got their full team now. I think Mobley
They've been
came
playing
back,
pretty
Garland
good,
came
man.
back, and so I know Golden State's been playing pretty hot too. I think we got the New Orleans game, so I'll say 5-5, bro.
Mm,
I'm not gonna again, man. Without me, I'm the Julius Homer. So if my guy's not there, I ain't really. I don't want to. I don't know. I don't want to overhype situations too much. And like
I
I
hear
said
that.
before, part of the reason I am a little concerned is the fact that I just don't. I am curious to see how Jalen Brunson is gonna, how they're gonna handle minutes with him. Because man, I'm just again that's my concern moving forward. Because you just don't want to. I know the more. I mean, obviously you have to play in more minutes, but man, it's just we've seen guys, guys of that stature, that height, where they're just constantly taking punishment every time they go, and it just never and it just never ends well initially, and so
Yeah,
and this is only his
I
first
agree.
year, and so that's definitely going to be something I definitely definitely going to be looking at the second half. So we'll
Well,
see, man. But like I said, I trust Tibbs. So
that's the thing. Now that you mentioned that, that's something that I'm looking towards as well. Which today, because of how Tibbs played that game and he was so willing to, be a little more flexible and creative with his rotations and lineups, that that's something that I feel like could sway things in this stretch right here. It could really play a part. I mean, we're not playing besides the Cavs. I mean, which team I mean, in this schedule that we've mentioned has a dominant big. There's no team that really has a dominant big like that we have to fear,
necessarily, I mean,
or
unless you want to
bigs
make,
or
I mean,
bigs
the
in
thing is,
general. Besides the Cavs, like the Cavs are the only team that
for
really has
I,
multiple bigs all at once. Where we might struggle a bit playing that small ball, but all these teams that we have lined up are more or better suited in a small ball type of scheme where I think that
yeah,
if Tibbs is more willing to play that style, which we've seen more often than not that he's not, but I think that because he's being more willing to, and maybe he's right at this point he's forced to because Hartenstein is out, and I know if Hartenstein was healthy, he'll be playing Precious and Hartenstein a whole lot, but the fact that he's forced to play this hand right now that he's dealt, I think gives him maybe it ends up building some confidence for later on, maybe in the playoffs when we're in a situation like this where we got to get creative and play like a Bogdanovich at the four, or at times where let's say when Julius Randle comes back and maybe even play
yeah,
Julius at a small ball five, which You have been
I've been,
a
bro,
big proponent of that lineup of playing
putting Julius
when
at
we
the
had
five,
Obi play
Wyatt
Obi at the 4 and Randall at the 5, where
But
Tibbs has
but
been
even a
real.
Randall Precious though, a Randall Precious
A
lineup
Randall
actually sounds
Precious
really
is
good.
definitely doable,
Yeah, because I
especially
mean
in
he's.
lineups where we have to lineups where we have a lot of switching going on,
Mm-hmm.
in situations like that where a team like the Celtics, when where they got KP and now Horford at times, and sometimes just KP at the 5, like we gonna need we need to be able to switch and
Need
have
that
somebody to
versatility.
still play up on guys like that. So I
Right.
think right now, even though we are down, it's a perfect time for Tibbs to really get creative with his lineups, especially that's been one of the biggest critiques or criticisms on him is can he be creative enough where he's not playing guys so much minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even today, I mean, he played Precious 43 minutes. He played Sims 39 minutes. He played, I mean, Brunson 35, but at times I felt like he probably should have played Brunson a little. Oh, my fault. This is the wrong game here.
Hold on, I'm looking.
He played Brunson 39 minutes.
39.
Sorry.
Hart
He played
44, yeah. But even Hart's a guy like he be running like Hart is the one that's usually like in every single lineup. Look,
Nah,
44 minutes.
literally. But those are, the thing is that too, those guys are workhorse, but at the same time, they're human beings and they could break down. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
even want that to happen too much. But the fact that, Bogdanov is 24 minutes, like that's encouraging. The fact that he could play that amount of minutes and
And have
hopefully
that type of
when
impact.
and have that type of impact in limited time. Tibbs is getting creative with the lineups in terms of player position, but in terms of minutes, he's still holding tight to guys that he wants on the court. So if he could just lessen the burden on certain guys, and maybe the run played a part too, because remember the Sixers made a run. Maybe the run played a part where he
Yeah.
had to go to back to his guys. But the fact that he's willing to play small ball, and like I said, this next stretch of games is going to be a lot of teams that do play that type of style. I'm really interested to see how far he goes with this because it could really, I wouldn't say make or break the season, but it could make or break the situation in terms of seeding. Like, God
Yeah.
forbid, we go on let's say 2-7. That'll easily put us in the play. I'm not really sure if everybody's schedule of all the other teams that are playing for seeding or in the standings right behind us or ahead of us. Not really familiar what who they playing or what their schedule's looking like. But
But they're gonna be fighting for seed. Like they're gonna, again, they're gonna want to win every game too. Like
exactly,
they're on the same
exactly.
type of same type of approach as us. So that's what it is.
Yeah, man. As we start the thick of things, honestly, it was good. It was good to get a win tonight. It was
Yeah.
good to see some Knicks basketball, even though at times or at one point, and especially in that third quarter, we was definitely a little scared. We got a little sweating, but it was nice
Regular
to
Knicks, regular Knicks,
regular
regular Knicks
Knicks,
game.
of course, up 23, and then next, they cut the opponents cuts the lead to 6 points. But nonetheless, man, it's good to be back. Good to be talking with my guy Z, but good to be talking Knicks,
Yes, sir.
especially after a break where it just seems like we didn't get any information, no news. Honestly, what the hell happened with that Houston game? Are we gonna get that back? What the
That's
hell
what
happened with
I'm
that review, man? Like,
honestly. I'm
you
That's
see,
what I'm
that's how
really trying to
quiet it was
figure
that we
out.
haven't even gotten the judgment of that game. We need that game back. We're owed an overtime game and finish out in Houston because that should have been a game that should have gone overtime. And we know for a fact that would have been our game, man.
That's a fact.
But man, that honestly, I just remembered that game and I just had to let us esteem because that was some
I feel you. I feel
bullshit. That
facts.
was some bullshit. But Zebo, anything you want to say to close out here as
And
we as
just
we close out as we end the episode?
like I said, man, right now is a big part of our stretch. So, man, I'm obviously excited to be back, man. And yeah, man, just keep staying tapped in with us, man. We're definitely gonna be, like I said, it's a big stretch for us, and so we're definitely gonna be out. Definitely gonna be here a little more, man. Hopefully, great health news is coming soon, man. Because
Facts.
some of the news that came out this weekend just had me too worried. So hopefully that ends up well, because yeah, we definitely need our guys back for the stretch. So
Yeah, big time, bro. This is a nine game stretch that, like I said, it's not gonna make or break our season because
Nah, but you want
we
to
have
start
some
the season
separation from like people outside of the plane to
right.
where we're at right now. So cool.
Nah, yeah, you want to set the
But
tone like the beginning of the second
but
half.
like you said, we gotta set the tone. So today, good win. 110-96 is like, look, yeah, the Sixers are hurt. We even more hurt. We're missing three starters. The
Right,
Sixers are only missing one, and we were able to, do what it do.
exactly.
But now we're facing some top of the line competition in like the Celtics on Saturday.
Facts,
How are we gonna fare against them? Let's
facts.
see. But 26 games left. We can't fall asleep behind the wheel. We still need to show up and play these games. So a lot is on the table. Hopefully we get to close out well. And at the end of the day, Brunson's our leader. He's gonna lead the pack. He's gonna lead the troops. The guy's gonna follow right behind him. Like I said, next man up mentality, and this
Facts.
team is built for that. With the right coach at the helm, doing what it do, and motivating and keeping our guys in track, holding them accountable. So definitely looking forward to these next few games, but also how we close out the second half, man. Lot to look forward to, but hopefully we get our guys sooner than later because man, we need Ja, we need
Facts.
OG, we need Mitch, we need Randall, we need our guys, man. We need our guys. We had damn near championship aspirations at one point, man, not too long ago, man. Damn, but it's all good. It's all good. Let's just pray. Let us pray. Shake hands, hold hands. Ale, ale. Amen. But nah, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you're not out there, man. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, but make sure to subscribe, man. Please like and comment. Let us know how you feel. Let us
Facts.
know if this is like a make or break point of the year. How you are you worried? Are you not? Let us know, man, because we're better in panic mode. We're better in panic mode. But if you feel confident, let us know how you feel. If you feel like, man, you're jumping off the bridge right now because it's looking bad, please don't do that because
We
there's
don't want
still
to
a
be
lot to the
responsible.
season left. But
Yeah.
make sure to subscribe, like the video, and thank you guys for watching. And see ya next time, man. Peace.